Hello, everyone. The same patron who recently recommended that I talk about whether type is hereditary or not also asked me a question that I thought was worth talking about in the video. And it is the question about anti-dominance and any-dominance, and more specifically, what can anti-dominance and any-dominance bring each other? I mean, perhaps this question was more broadly, what can NI bring to NE and vice versa? But I need to have a specific angle in the video like this, and so I'm choosing to focus on NI dominance and any dominance, because I think it brings an interesting perspective, and we all know that NI dominance and any dominance often get on. And it might seem surprising at first, because NI is so different from NE. Tends towards convergence, NE tends towards divergence. Obviously, NI dominants are introverted people, often quite introverted people. NE dominants are extroverted people, often quite extroverted people. And so what do you do with this? What is it? Is it just a matter of intuition? Is it that the NI dominant is excited to look at the, intuition of the NE dominant, but projected outside, whereas theirs is introjected? And vice versa for the any dominant. Is it joy at the possibility of doing things that may not be within the remit of what the any dominant mostly does, or the any dominant mostly does, but shows an area of possibility that is exciting? I think it is to some extent this, but the best way to understand, I think, the attraction that NI dominants have for any dominance, and vice versa, the attraction that any dominants have for NI dominance, is that, in a sense, encountering an N dominant type of the other persuasion, if you like, is a little bit like seeing the possibilities inscribed in individuation. To meet an any dominant for an NI dominant is a way of saying to themselves, this is something that I could experience in myself if I individuated. This is a possible future for me. And again, vice versa for the any dominant. Now, what's important to emphasize is that this for the NI dominant will be by means of SE and not NE. Will be by means of the integration of the SE function, their inferior function. And we know that the vision of SE is extremely pleasing to the NI dominance, in the same way that the vision of SI is very pleasing to the NE dominance, often contemplated with a little bit of fear. The fear is not of the inferior function in itself. It's more akin to a neurotic type of fear of, if it were to be summarized in a sentence, I'm not sure that I am capable of this, that I can do this. That is to say, integrating the inferior. This part of myself that I'm not so proud of because I'm not so good at it. And maybe I'm a little bit ashamed of it. Maybe I'm a bit guilty that I haven't integrated it enough. Would it not be better if I denied its importance altogether? Would it not be better if I just shifted my attention away from it? Now, that's the source of the fear. But the encounter of an any dominant for an NI dominance is a reminder that extrovert perception is something really playful and really beautiful. And for the any dominant, the encounter with NI is, I think, the experience of something profound and significant and admirable as well. And so it's a reminder to each of these people that the inferior function is not something to be feared, it's not something to be avoided, but it's something to be approached within the perspective of individuation. It opens the doors of a future that is embraced rather than a future that is fled from in a neurotic attempt to, if you like, remain blind to one's possibilities. And in that respect, if one were to pursue that path, make one's world smaller. So there's something ecstatic, there's something very joyous in the encounter and the promise of possibility. And I think that's ultimately, at an unconscious level, the main source of the attraction, which is undeniable. So let me know in the comments what you thought, guys. Give me a like if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget that I wrote 2 books on an NI dominant called the INFJ. The Ecstatic Soul is my first book on the type, still to this day the deepest look into the INFJ mind. If that is of interest, click the first link below. Actually, not the first link, because the first link is to the Infinite Soul, but you should get this book too, which is the sequel to the Ecstatic Soul. And it's about INFJ life in the modern world. What's it like to be an INFJ in the modern world? It's often seen as hostile. How to find happiness, purpose, and value in this world, even though we see it as hostile. If you want to know more, check the first link below. The link to the Ecstatic Soul is also in the description box though. So you should get to the 2 books if you haven't yet. And as usual, don't forget that I need your support on Patreon. If you can provide some support, I would be immensely grateful. I depend on your kind donation to keep the channel going. I could not do it without you. But in return, you also get access to our Discord server, the Furfold, to interact with me and the others there, as well as a bonus video every 2-3 weeks on a topic of your choosing called a deep dive. If that is of interest, please click the link to my Patreon below and see you there. Bye-bye.